Sure, you're eating whole foods. This was easy to make, easy to do with the family. We'll talk to you soon. Hi guys, welcome back. This is Man Talks TV, once again at the Ottawa Athletic Club, the most established fitness club in Ottawa. With Sheldon once again. Welcome back to the show, Sheldon.
Thank you.
Awesome. You know, when guys have busy schedules,
Yes.
when they're flying here and meetings there,
Yes.
and they got a family to work with.
Yes.
Sometimes guys say, you know what, I don't have time to work out, and I say that's crap. There's always time to work out.
There is always time to work
You got to schedule it in, right?
Yes, true.
Okay, so we want to find out if a guy wants to be able to do the minimum amount of workout to get the maximum benefits.
Okay.
It's riding the line between getting something done and not, but you got to
Yes.
be able to get this done. So what are we going to do? What are the whole body exercises that we can do to get the guy moving, get those muscles building, and get things happening?
Okay, you can have a little quick warm up to start your workout. You can do some jumping jacks, whatever you want to do. You can do a bit. So let's start with something very easy to do. You could start with jumping jacks.
Jumping
you could
jacks.
run on the spot just to get that body warmed up, ready to go for a little mini workout. I would suggest push-ups, great.
Yep.
Body weight squats, lunges. You could do those things.
Actually, let's take a look at the lunges.
Yes.
I mean, that's a nice one. We can isolate
Yes.
the quads, isolate the buttocks. So let's
Yes.
take a look and look at your. You want me to do it?
By the way, you know that women love strong athletic butts. Can I just say that?
Women love strong athletic butts.
Okay, so the lunges and squats will work those glutes.
Let's get those big butts happening. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm in this position. I've got a split squat
Yes.
happening here. What am I doing
Okay,
from here?
you want your knee to track over your foot. Okay, so
Okay, so
drive
I'm
your-
dropping down my body.
Move your knee forward. Exactly. So you're going to be working the quads. You're going to be working those glutes. Okay.
So I make sure I'm looking up too as
Exactly.
I'm going through
Straight
this.
ahead. You can isolate. You can do one leg at a time like this.
Or you can
Okay.
step back.
You could do step backs. You could do different variations. You could step forward.
One of the things that I worry about this with a lot of folks as I see them when they show me their stuff at the clinic when they're doing
Yes.
these things is the fact that their knee really shifts too much forward. So that's going to be danger on the shearing mechanism within the joint. So ideally to stop at the midfoot or slightly forward, but not so much you're changing the angle here too much.
Not too much. You can track, remember, you can track your knee a little bit over the foot.
Yep.
Why? When you're cycling, if we jump, we land, our knee is slightly over a foot. It's not going to be too much of a danger, but if you do have knee problems,
Yeah.
then maybe you could consider maybe not tracking so far forward.
Okay, so now I got my quads, I got
Yes.
my butt, I got my hamstrings done.
Yes.
What am I going to do to make my shoulders pop? What is it going to be?
Listen, you want to do some, look, I don't know, if you might have a little light set of dumbbells at work, you might not, you could do some push-ups,
Yeah.
work your,
And your
pecs.
delts and whatnot,
You can
yeah.
work your shoulders.
Okay, so if we were talking about, let's say we want to work the shoulders and we don't have the dumbbells, right?
Yes.
So we step back and say, okay, let's say this is a door frame.
Yes.
So all of a sudden now I want to be able to work my shoulder. So I'm going to say, okay, I want to be able to do an isometric contraction, not
Yes.
heavy, not much, just lightly pushing in, and then I'm working the shoulder here.
True.
Great.
Medial delts. Again,
Yep.
working medial
Perfect.
delts. Yes.
And I change that position to external rotation and pushing backwards
Exactly.
or this
Posterior delts.
one. Posterior delts,
Yes.
right? So now I'm working the shoulder.
Yes.
And then we do the push-ups, that's the
Yes.
anterior delts.
Exactly. So,
See, look, this is the thing to say. We talk about squats, we talk about lunges, we talk
Yes.
about jumping lunges, we talk about push-ups, we talk about isometric stuff and
Yes.
bicep work too and triceps. So look, guys, we did this demonstration in less than 4 minutes.
Yes.
So we can do this. You guys can do this in 4 minutes. So what's the trick? What's the trick for this?
push-up variations. You could do different push-up variations. Listen, I personally think it's great not just to do push-up variations. It's going to also work your core. Do some squats, body weight squats. Do lunges. It's going to help. At least try to do the minimum. Okay, it's going to boost your serotonin level. It's going to make you feel good. It's also going to help improve your mood also.
And sex.
Yeah, of course.
Always comes back to sex.
Yes.
All
I mean,
right.
if you feel good, you can perform better.
There we
That's
go.
the key.
All right, I'm Dr. James Emmett. This is Man Talks TV, and I'm thanking Sheldon from the
Thank you.
OAC. We'll see you soon. Thanks
Thank you
again.
so much. Thank you.
Good job. All right, guys, we have here with us Michael. Michael, welcome to Man Talks TV.
Thank you.
We've been talking about dads and being a dad and what makes up a stand-up dad. And when I first opened up the segment, I talked a little bit about, when the kids are born, guys, dads are awesome and great. And as the kids grow up, dads get a little bit less cool, and then they're embarrassment. And eventually, when kids get older, they find out they're good and they're nice people. So, in your experience and stuff, what do guys talk about? What do they need? What do they want to be when, as a dad? What's the thing?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I guess the short answer is guys don't typically, unless something happens where they have an invitation, they feel there's an opening. And I remember I would be invited to these golf tournaments, and we'd be sitting around, and the conversation would be like deadly, boring. And then I'd say something like, "Do you have children?" And I'd watch these guys light up as they described, yes, I've got a, this-year-old, and in the last week, and
There's a lot of joy with that.
an immense amount of joy and vitality. And I'm imagining part of it is that they were separating, while I'm in my business persona now, and if I could be in my dad persona, then you'd see a more vital me. And at the same time, there's often a hesitancy among men to actually talk about things that are that personal.
Yeah, that's the challenge. And a little bit scary and fearful in some cases, right?
Yeah.
So dad energy is very, very beautiful and very, very strong and very, very, giving.
Yes.
Would that be true?
I would say, playful. This I will often, if I'm traveling, I'll get to notice, like in an airport, there'll be two young kids, and there'll be their dad, and he'll be inventing games because the plane's been delayed, or you're having to sit there for an hour.
Yeah.
And so I'll just go over and say, I really want to appreciate how involved you are and how you're taking care of your children, how you're having fun with them.
Yeah.
Because that for me is exciting, a dad that'll step up and.
Yeah, because some guys think that dads have to be a certain way. Society says dads have to be this sort of way. But if you look inside yourself and say,
Yes.
I'm creative, I'm whole, I'm resourceful, I can do these things, like create games and do these things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's a key point. Looking inside yourself, going inside. A great book called Parenting from the Inside Out. I read it and blew me away because what the premise that they make is that everything that triggers us with our children is something that happened to us when we were young.
Oh boy, man, that would be awesome. We'd like to have you on your own show doing TV stuff, right, Michael? But look, that's all we have time for today. But thank you very much, Michael, for coming out. I appreciate that. Man Talk TV, thanks you. Okay, guys, there we go. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this episode of Man Talks TV. Look, I want to share a little bit of a story with you about my dad. When I was growing up, my dad was cool and aloof. He didn't show a lot of emotion. And that was okay, because that's just the way he was. He chose to show his way of loving us in his actions, not his words.
I can't remember any time where he ever told me that I love you when I was growing up as a child, but that was okay. That's just the way it was. I could get drawn into the whole idea of, oh, you know, he never loved me because he never said it, or I could actually look at the way he was and have gratitude and love for that experience because he taught me how to love my children. When I tell my daughter, I love you, she says, I love you too. When I tell my son I love him, he says, Dad, I know, you don't have to tell me all the time, I feel it in my heart. And when I tell my dad I love him, my non-emotional dad, I said, Dad, I love you. And he says, yeah, okay, son, we'll talk to you later. And he hangs up the phone or kind of turns his back. So these things happen, but that's okay, that's just the way he is. What I want to say is, look, we all need some form of dad energy in our life. Whether you're aspiring to be a dad, whether you are a dad, it's important to have that energy around, energy of the role model, of the male energy model with you, so you can have that with you all the time in your heart and in your soul. So no matter what you've done or not done, you're worthy of love. And this is one of my mentors that said that to me many times. Guys, I want you to remember this. Be original, be authentic, be extraordinary every day.